Having unity in a family can lead to great outcomes that we often don't think about. When there's unity in a family, there's usually high levels of communication. Having unity in a family can help establish two of the components in the ideal parenting communication style. These two components that I'm talking about are having high levels of communication and high levels of discipline. The easiest way to describe these parenting styles that I'm talking about is by going over the following table. This table was introduced to me in a family communication course that I took, and now let me go over it. Vertically, in this table, they measure the levels of communication. There are two options. One of them is the high and the low. Horizontally, they're measuring the level of discipline, which is the high and low as well. Let me get into describing the four categories. The first that I'm gonna be describing is the permissive parenting style. This permissive parenting style lands in the high levels of communication and low levels of discipline. This is the second best parenting style. These would be the parents that communicate a lot with their kids, but they let them do whatever they want, and they even party with them, and they won't really care about the time they come back from a party or anything like that. But they at least maintain the communication, which is important, and it's establishing unity in the family. Then we have the neglecting parenting style. This falls in the low discipline and low communication. This would be the family that doesn't ever eat together, doesn't ever communicate. Everybody's sort of doing their own thing, and they basically all are working or in school, and they never get to spend time together. The third one is the authoritarian parenting style. This one is low on communication and high on discipline. This would be basically the parents that give all these rules to their kids, but they never ask them how was their day at school, and they never have meaningful conversations. The fourth one that I'll be describing, this one is the best parenting approach according to communication stats. This is high on discipline and high on communication. These would be the parents that give their kids a set of rules, and with this set of rules they communicate the reason behind having all these rules, so that their kids understand where they're coming from. They ask their kids every day how was their school day. They get together at a table and eat together, and they support each other through thick and thin. By having more communication, the family can support each other better. Having more communication, according to communication studies, leads to more successful lives. Additionally, having a high degree of discipline can be expressed. There's constant communication in the family unit. This allows parents to know that their kids are going in the right direction. Now, it is key to remember that parents may jump from these styles simultaneously. They might not always fit one of the categories, but in certain situations they might be authoritarian. In other situations they might be more neglectful, or they might change as the kids get older. The sort of style might be changing. Anyways, feel free to drop in the comments what you think of the following table that I just described, And if you think that the way you were raised fits one of these parenting styles, and describe how that has affected your life. My family isn't perfect, but there's a family tradition that has motivated us to maintain together throughout time and even distance. I think that tradition has also allowed us to maintain some of these discipline and communication skills that I just described. This tradition that I'm describing is the Ponce de Leon Espinosa annual family tradition. This tradition has been happening for nearly 38 years, I would say. And me and my family attended it for like 10 years, which it was until I moved from Mexico. But I got to attend to one of these reunions just this past last year, and it was awesome. I felt the unity between me and my family members throughout the air, and everybody welcomed me as if they had seen me yesterday, even though it was a couple of years ago that we hadn't seen each other. This tradition basically takes place because my grandpa had 16 siblings. In the reunion, they basically just get together and eat. This past last year, they did a special reception because they made it at the beach, and we all ate together too. But basically the idea is that these 16 siblings, they all live in different towns around Mexico, and they barely get to see each other because of how extended the family is. So they created this event where they get together. My grandpa's 16 siblings, they all had about 6 kids on average, and then those 6 kids on average had like 3 kids, and I'm in that 3rd generation. Seeing how this family of 16 siblings has been able to maintain together motivates me and my family to try to eat as much together as possible. Now my family is just 5 of us, so I think it would be simpler for us to maintain together throughout the time and distance. If that big extended family has been able to maintain together through the generations, I think me and my family of 5 will be able to. As far as my family goes, we usually try to eat together as much as possible. When we eat together, we try to have meaningful conversations. Me and my siblings usually talk to my mom on the phone every day. Even though we might not be in the same place, we still try to stay in touch and communicate what we're doing with our lives. At the table, when we eat together, that's when we end up negotiating what we think is right or wrong, making every decision a well-thought one, or at least one where what could go wrong was established. I believe, thanks to that tradition that I just described, that has given us the drive to remain together. I think my family has managed to stay together, fall together, and get blessed together. We moved together to America, sacrificing not seeing friends or family. Plus, my parents gave up their successful clothing business. We all made those sacrifices for me to have equal opportunities in this country. There's a lot of lack of opportunities in Mexico for people with disabilities. The lack of accessibility and many other resources that they also have in America. Giving it up for me was rough, but eventually we all got blessed. My sister is a dentist. My brother got his master's in business, and he works for a company right now that exports and imports woods. And as far as me goes, I got my bachelor's in communications, and I am planning on pursuing my master's in social work. So I think overall, maintaining together and supporting each other has allowed us to benefit in the end. I'm very glad that we immigrated. That act of courage made us all who we are today. I wouldn't be the man I am today without my family's support, without their communication, without their discipline, and without their words of encouragement when I felt like giving up. Overall, having unity in your family will give your family a higher chance of having successful lives, just like it has happened for me and my family in a lot of ways. To benefit the future children of tomorrow, it is important for us to choose the right parenting style. That is why keeping the authoritarian parenting style in the back of our heads would be a great idea. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep on getting to know more of these life truths.